Oh gosh. There we go. Welcome, All Star. It's been a while. Welcome to the stream. Glad to see you can make it. Welcome, Logan. Welcome. Alrighty then. Yeah, it's been ages. So welcome. Thanks for dropping by. And I'm just finishing up my stuff. Alrighty then. I think officially we're good. Sweet. I know. Maybe, yeah, for everyone that doesn't, it's, I know it's quite early in the morning. I get that. Uh, Funny thing is that, yeah, I live in the wrong time zones. Funny thing is that it's really early in the morning for me too. I woke up like an hour ago. I work swing shifts, so this is a very early morning stream. Then I have the rest of the day ahead of me. Still, could I do a night stream? Very possibly. And will I? Also, very possibly. So I need to be reasonably exhausted. Oh man, I mean, you're never gonna. Isn't it the thing that you never get enough rest until until like when the last time you get a proper amount of sleep is when you're a child, and then that's the last you hear about it. But yeah, it's been. I don't want to get into what the special announcement is until more people show up, because it may change how I do things here. Probably not, but it could. And I'm just excited to share it with everybody. But yeah, it's been for me a fairly boring week because I because of everything. Yeah, best not to end up. I mean, repeating myself. Come on, I never repeat myself. Never. I say everything that I want when I want it and exactly how it should be said. I've never ever had to repeat any sort of line reading or speaking ever. Yeah, I just say it multiple times. I don't repeat myself. They just happen to show up again, just back to back to back. It's a very interesting phenomenon. Welcome, V. Welcome. You somehow beat Desk to the punch. uh, but glad to see you. Okay, man. Hmm. I'm wondering. I'll probably start reading for Idol's statue cleaning spree that he goes on, and then I'll announce what I have done after what has happened afterwards. But I wonder if I I wonder if Discord's going to grant Idle another boon because it just it's Idle. He's probably I feel like he's going to be doing it by accident anyways. Much like his first boon. I mean, he has to be like it's pretty much required that he has to be like uh every major political figure is like indebted to him in one way or another. Like, I wonder what Idol's interactions with like the Griffin emissaries are. That could be very that could be very, very interesting. Oh man. it Okay, so something I've recently discovered that I've been doing is every time that there's like a anonymous guard, whether it be mostly captain, it's the same voice. I do the same voice for every single person. So this guy, this whatever soldier number this is, has just been following Idol throughout his entire career. He's probably going to be during the Cantrell wedding. He was probably a week away from retiring or something. Of course, it's always Idol. It is always Idol. And so, since we're getting into cold brew, that means more Moth Chaser, and we get to see Pristine. Oh no, I have to make up a voice for Pristine. Ah, I didn't think about that. I'm going to put this off as long as possible. Yes, that is the correct way to do it. Put it just I don't have to repeat. I'm not repeating myself. I'm just saying it multiple times, and then it will just work. It just works. Whatever I feel like it works, it will work. Alrighty then. Let's get started, shall we? Um, Hoofs. Oh gosh, yeah. I forgot how much that voice kills me. All right. Hoofs, the buck you doing? I just love this guy. Now, man, we're going on a hike. I want y'all to keep up. Oh man. If you don't know who John By the Way is, oh, he's such a good comedian. Comedian slash motivational speaker. The thing I most remember him for is that his name is By the Way, which he always makes fun of himself every single show, and that he could do a perfect. Oh, what's his name? Oh no! Oh, that dude from the Andy Griffith Show. What? Oh, what's his name? I feel so bad. Um, Barney. Barney. Okay, I was thinking Grover, but I know that's someone else entirely. He can do a perfect Barney Fife impersonation, and it's just the funniest thing. Alrighty then. Hooves, what the buck you the what? Hooves, the buck you doing? Hooves, the buck you doing? Patrolling, sir? I blinked rapidly. I blinked rapidly. I had been less attentive than usual. I would have to correct that. The captain took a deep breath through his nostrils, eyes closed. I can see that. I can see that, Corporal Hoops. Allow me to rephrase. Why the buck you are patrolling? You're supposed to be on Luna duty. Because that is also my duty? Hooves, you are on special duty. Is special duty extra duty? Damn. Yes? I asked. Hope. Yes? I just love how him getting extra duty is more. Him getting caught in doing extra duty is more like people catching him his hoof in the cookie jar. Although I would suspect that that Topaz has caught Idol's hoof in the honey pot um, more often than not. Damn. Yes? I asked, hopeful that it would. I hopeful that it would be allowed to. Hopeful that it would be allowed to be such. Hopeful that a wide a wide grin split his face. I can't do his off the cuffs. Man, I can't remember which conversation it was. I can't even remember if it was even this fic or one of the spin-offs that I did. I was able to just switch back and forth between voices no problem. And I want to do that again. But the captain is just. Oh wait, if he's a captain, does that mean Shining replaces this dude? At one point, did he actually retire just before the invasion? Or there just happens to be multiple captains, and he's just more or less captain of the guard. I saw in one fic. I saw in one fic that was like, there's a lot of captains, but because that's the highest rank that a guard can have in peacetime in Equestria, and if the Canterlot invasion had gone on long enough, then gone on long enough for the paperwork to go through, Shining would have been promoted to general or something like that. I just thought it was like really funny because really it's the same reason why do they just have princesses? Where's kings and queens? We have Queen Chrysalis, we have Queen Novo. I mean, the Dragon Lord technically isn't a king, although he technically also is a king. But why do Equestrias only have princesses? It makes no sense. Also, is anyone else with me that Cadence totally should have been an empress because she rules the empire? Captain of. I mean, there's so many there's a lot of guard stories that I've read that have split it like Master maybe. I'm not familiar with military terms. I know a few, but but not even enough to be in trouble with the way I'm saying things, because there's also like, because like if Shining's okay, so there my thought process of the guard ranks. Empress sounds dark, but it's technically correct. You can't rule an empire and not be an empress. I mean, yeah, it sounds dark, but empress. Like even like Sombra, he wasn't even an emperor. He was king. He was king. He wasn't Emperor Sombra. He was King Sombra. It makes no sense whatsoever. I've heard fics that make fun of that his first name actually was King, and so everyone just called him King Sombra. when his technical title was like Emperor King Sombra, and he just thought it was sounded stupid, so he dropped that whole title naming scheme. um, but I would assume with like a military that's as large as Equestria, you would have like captains and you'd have generals. I know you maybe admirals for like the sky fleets or something like that, because it seems like Equestria doesn't have a navy unless it's a sky navy, which, I mean, cool. Unless that's just the Wonderbolts in general. Um, let's see. But I've I can see it like happening one of a couple ways. Shining's the captain of the day, specifically captain of the day guard, or he's captain of the guard in total, and he has two other captains below him. That's captain of the day guard and captain of the night guard, and then the tower branching from and the ranks branching out from there. Those are the two ways I see his captaincy going with. Possibly, I have no idea, but that is just a theory, a changeling theory. Thanks for watching. No. uh, yeah, that is my reasoning for that. Is either Shining's like either captain is the highest rank that you can attain in peacetime. He's either just flat on captain of the day guard, or he's captain of like all equestrian forces, and the title is captain of the guard. Those are the things I'm seeing, and I'm only saying captain of the day, captain of the night guard, because I read the Dusk Guard. Fantastic story. Y'all should give it a read. Viking ZX, I believe the author's name is. Great lore building on that. Can't wait to find out that we don't get to know because Idol is confused by all the explanations. Exactly. Wide grin split his face. Yeah, okay. I forgot where I was, okay? Tartarus, no, it isn't. The grin vanished. You're working nights for Princess Luna. Your duty right now is to rest up and be prepared to serve appropriately when Shining Armor is off shift. Get your armor off, go sleep or rest somewhere, or do something relaxing that you do. Dismissed. And with that, he briskly trotted off. I just imagine that he himself is also very confused at the fact that he doesn't know exactly what Idol gets up to. Or he knows exactly what everyone else thinks Idol gets up to, but he doesn't want to say it. Disappointed, I looked around the palace gardens. Topaz was teaching, and her hours would not coincide with mine. I had not purchased clay for use at home, and I had been explicitly forbidden from working off shift. What was a royal guard to do if not guarding something? I eyed one of the statues, considered its state of disrepair, and made my decision. A trip to the market, and I was ready to begin. If he already took a trip to the market to do this, couldn't he have just also bought clay while he was there? Doesn't he also pass through the market on his way home? Is clay just somehow much harder to obtain than I'm thinking of? Because, or is Idol just like, well, I don't have clay at home, I can't purchase it, right? He just doesn't even consider the act of purchasing the clay, and then uh, he's probably even passes like a clay selling stand. I don't know how you pick up clay, but I imagine it's just like a stand somewhere in the market, and he just bypasses it, gets all his cleaning materials, walks past it again to go back to clean up the statues. Because I know there's like a Potter's Guild. Like, maybe they sell the clay, but I can't imagine like the Potter's Guild being that far away from the palace, because you want it to be very central to the entire city. And if what is the what is the castle if not central to everything? I have no idea. also, also, is Canterlot floating off the edge of a mountain, or is it just mainly built on top of a mountain? And like, I've seen so many stories. I've seen so many stories like just ignore this and think that the castle is like buttressed up against like the peak or something like that. But then that's like terribly unsecure. Although this is Equestria, so I have no idea. They seem to just take security like very lax sometimes. Going by his sudden decision to add a skylight to an existing tunnel without considering extra support. Idol is one of those people who just runs with an idea once it appears. Yeah, I can see that. When did he add a skylight to a tunnel? uh, that'd have to be like mentioned in the first chapter, but I don't remember. I just thought he was adding like aesthetics to the tunnel, not necessarily skylights. I can't remember. Your knowledge of chapters are maybe am I forgetting a chapter? I don't think so. That's what I well, okay, I know that he had changed. Okay, I know that he had changed the temple. I know he had changed the cavern from a traditional building technique. I didn't think he added a skylight, because generally the inside of the hive seems really dark. I had not read that in years either, but I could have sworn that like there's a few things that he did, which was like one was like shaping stalactites to drip cold water onto changelings' backs uh, as they filed down as they walked down a hallway, but also like changing the look of a chamber. But I don't think he ever went into details on how it looks. It could be. It could definitely could be that I'm misremembering, because it has been ages since I read that chapter. Also, with how that first chapter reads, you would not guess Idol's personality from reading that first chapter, because he's considered a prankster amongst his kind, and probably for a changeling, Idol's personality is very prankster like. But amongst ponies, he's like just the deadpan always. Okay, well, yeah, all right. I'll trust you, All Star, because I mostly because I don't want to go and backtrack to that chapter to search for something that may or may not be to see whether I'm right or not, which is something I don't usually do. But you know what? It's I'm in a great mood. And uh, I know that I forget things all the time, like these streams, or to edit these streams, or to actually post actual chapters. Oh crap, I have to do a yelling Celestia. I forgot. Her voice is like almost an antithesis. Antithesis. No, I refuse to be mocked for antithesis. Yeah, an antithesis for yelling. At least the voice I gave her. Oh no. I started at the bottom. I started at the bottom, working my way up. I cleansed every inch of it, doing my best to remove the ravages of time, nature, flora, and fauna alike. Moss and mildew stains were easy enough to remove. Lichen could be scraped off with a bit of care, and the occasional crack could be filled in. That was fine until I reached the bust. Busted. That was fine until That was fine until I reached the bust. There it became a. That was fine until I reached the bust. There it became more complicated, the detail more intricate. Yeah, I know. They do kind of hang over a cliff's edge. But also, like, hmm. I mean, that's a cool picture of Canterlot. I'm not gonna lie. That's a really. Oh, that's probably. Is that based on. Um. That looks like it's based on Legends of Equestria. Love that game. That's a cool game. Also, why would the castle not be a center point of the city? Isn't like the whole point of like keeps in cities and whatnot to be like castles to be center points so everyone could just flood in times of like siege or invasion, and so everyone's like just equidistant from the center. Uh, yeah, Canterlot, for what it's shown in the show, always seems to be changing its size because in the show it looks absolutely tiny, and even like the this which I think even this canon picture which I think is from the Grand Galloping Gala, like that's like officially the castle gates, and but that's wrong. Because don't they have to go through the entirety of Canterlot to reach the Canterlot gate, to reach the castle gates, to then get in? That's true. That's how the keep is supposed to work. But then, like, but then we go to the movie, which shows a little bit more of a bird's eye of Canterlot, and I can't remember much about that movie, but I could have sworn it was more the castle was more central to to the city. I might be misremembering because it's been a while since I've watched the movie too. Um, but yeah, this bird eye one, it looks beautiful. It looks very beautiful. I won't deny that. But also, why is the center point of the city like a fountain? Like I get like aesthetics and whatnot, but why wouldn't it be the castle? uh, Maybe I know equestrians think differently from us, but I would assume like the castle's built first to just houses everyone while the city's built, or maybe the city was built and then the castle was built. I could almost also see that since the castle of the two sisters was actually built in the center of in the center of the city, But then when they had to move to Canterlot, what if like just another settlement was there and they're like, we have to make room for a castle? Oh no, we're on a mountain. Where are we going to find room for a castle? And so they're just like, you can have this section right here. We don't care if you're the king and queen. You just but right here is it's all the room that we got. It's everything it's all the room that we have right here. And so that's why it's like half floating off the city. I've also seen like imaginings that the top of the peak of the mountain slightly curves over top the city, kind of like the capital city in Aragon, which I always, which that always, whenever I read that part of the Aragon series, was always just such a cool visual to be like, man, you just decided to build a city under top this very precarious mountain that curves over top of your city like a dome. If it's an unplanned city, the castle gets built sometime after your village big enough to get the attention of a noble. I've I've seen it explained in fics sometimes. I was built for like strategic defenses. I've seen it explained in other fics that's like the reason why they chose Canterlot and Canterhorn to build the castle is because of the um, magic crystals that were uh, gathered. Like it was a mining town, but since they gathered like magic crystals that are used in reagents, it was like a very wealthy mining town. And that's why it was chosen. Be like, yeah, let's move the source of power on top of the glowing crystals. And then when the all the crystals ran out in the mine, then they closed it down, or they mined enough and realized that they weren't growing back quick enough, so they closed it off so that way it would naturally regrow. I've seen a few things about that. I've also recently, this is the first time I've seen it, also seen that Bat Pony, like the Bat Pony village, lives in the Crystal Caverns, which cool because I mean, does it make sense? Kind of. But if you think about it, what's like the natural? Uh, let's see, what is like the natural thing for bat ponies to rule over? Because Pegasi rule over like the clouds. Earth ponies like rule over basically the earth, and unicorns rule over magic. But bat ponies would rule over like dark and shadow or something like that. So their cities would probably be built more underground or like in deep caves is something I've read. And it's it was always a cool thought because I wish they went more into where bat ponies came from. I don't even think there was. Is there an actual canonical bat pony in the show that's not Fluttershy or the Night Guard for Luna Eclipsed? Welcome, demo. Welcome to the stream. Welcome, welcome. We're talking about bat ponies and where they came from. I don't think there's a canonical bat pony outside the guards, which might be just dressed up for Nightmare Nights, and Fluttershy, who was under the effect of Twilight. That'd be so sad that if bat ponies didn't exist, because they're a huge part of the they're a huge part of the fandom. I started streaming 40 a half hour to 40 minutes ago. I can't remember. I've just we've just been chatting. We're working on the fine details of what the heck is Canterlot. I mean, I probably should, but what's like I want to actually see like the percentage of these streams where I'm actually reading versus being distracted, because I partially use these streams half for reading, half to bounce my fan theories off of, because it's just really fun to chat with you guys. Oh no, you get to pay it back. Well, just don't chop down the Everfree, and then we'll call it even, okay, Demo? um. So, but yeah, if Bat Ponies might not even exist in canon, and so that makes like Thestrals and whatnot not really like relevant to where they came from if they don't come from anywhere, so, except for one showing in the show. No problem. Welcome back, V. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, we were just talking about whether or not Bat Ponies actually exist in canon. I mean, where else are we going to get this kind of quality stream? Oh man, but yeah, we were just talking about Bat Ponies, whether or not they exist in canon, and if they did, what would like their era of effect? Because it, for all purposes, they could actually just be real, and then there's just such a low population of them that we've never seen them either in the show since basically Luna eclipsed. If that's the case, then it's like there's only 2 confirmed Bat Ponies that we've ever seen in the entire show. Yeah, that's what I was thinking was the last time. So we have that, and I was talking about like how Bat Ponies could like, if like like there's every kind of equine rules over uh, a physical or metaphysical um, plane of existence. You have you have Pegasus that rule over the sky, Earth ponies that rule over the earth, uh, unicorns that rule over magic, um, the crystal ponies that rule over emotion, and then you have Bat ponies, which would probably be ruling over shadow. Shadow and darkness, and darkness and shadow. Griffins? Hmm. Maybe rule over money. You rule over the economy. And dragons rule over fire, I guess. I mean, I've seen one fic where it's like the griffins ruled over the winds, which is different from ruling over the skies, I guess. I mean, they kind of like the idol of Boreas. That's probably its name. If you just like, I get like, oh, they lost the idol and then that caused their whole country to collapse. How strong do you think that country was to begin with if losing one statue made it so the entire thing fell apart? uh, but greed, maybe. The hunt could be another thing. Although I don't think equestrians would appreciate having a species that rule over the hunt. So, did it kill their king? I can't remember. It probably did, but it's a child-friendly. No one could be motivated to do anything. Well, I've seen things where it's like without the idol Boreas, the like Griffinstone itself uh, was like the heart of the empire, but each and every city was ruled over by a different griffin, and like just Boreas himself basically whipped everyone into shape and brought all the other uh, Iries, Iries, yeah, Griffin Iries under his wing to basically bring about the Griffin Empire. And then after he died, it was like whoever held the idol of Boreas will be granted the power of Boreas. But since no one did, they all fought amongst each other, and them basically ransacking each other made it so uh, all the Iries, it's like Griffins separated weak, Griffins together strong, and they just are too. How do I make this without sounding bad? I mean, you really can't. What they're just looking out for number one, so they can't bring themselves together. They're probably like beaten into submission by Boreas. Be like, this is my power of rule over you, and I shall pass it down to whoever I believe is like next in line. He dies, it gets lost, and all the other Iries are like, we're free. We're going to pillage the crap out of Griffinstone, and that's why Griffinstone looks the way it is. All the other Iries probably look fine. They probably look fine. It's just Griffinstone that's trashed. Child friendly, he says, when we literally see the skull of the thing that stole the idol. I mean, yeah. I mean, skulls are child friendly. Just look at Indiana Jones. Yeah, he was thrown into a pit of skulls at one point, wasn't he? Apparently, Superman is child friendly, and look at him. He got buried in a field of skulls. Uh, I think that was in Man of Steel. He got buried in a field of skulls. You know, for kids. Oh, yeah. I have no idea how they snuck a skull past ages 3 and up. Like for audiences of 3, TVY. How a TVY? How? Although Rainbow Dash did lose a wing at one point, and we were fine about it. Also, Sombra got obliterated. I won't say decimated because everyone uses that word wrong. They think it sounds cool, but there's only 2 places in the entirety of movie and TV where people have used the word decimated correctly. And that is Adrian Monk from the detective TV show Monk. If you haven't watched it, please do. It's a great cop show, a great detective show. And 2 was the Master from Doctor Who. He's like, should we decimate them, darling? Yes, decimate, such a good word. Remove 1/10 of the population. And he's like one of 2 people that's used it correctly. Decimate is reduced by 1/10. If anyone says decimated, you better hope that like 90% of the structure survived, or else they're just grammatically incorrect. Oh no, in the also in the what's that called? In the Equestrian War like alternate timeline, Dash has a full-on metal wing. Like she totally lost it. Like we didn't see it on show, but it was heavily implied that yeah, she lost a wing and it's replaced with a prosthetic now. Also, she has like a chunk of her ear torn off, which I'm not sure how she lost both a wing and a chunk of her ear torn off when it seems all that they do to fight uh, is like do the just wave their hoofs in front of each other like. What's that fighting style called? I mean, also, like, best part of that timeline of Pinky and Maud just obliterating a boulder, just obliterating it. Also, that also shows that Pinky, since Maud can do that on a regular basis, Pinky is tough, and we've seen Pinky could probably match Maud pace for pace. So that means Pinky, if anyone were to, if anyone were to upset Pinky, uh, could their could be absolutely demolished. Oh, that's true. They do fight like a bunch of children. Uh, I mean, there also was that cancer pony. They showed a funeral, briefly in an episode. I'm like, man, they got away with a lot of things. We've seen a Pinky where she was never made to smile, being as strong as Maud. Well, Pinky's still grew on a rock farm. Uh, Pinky's still grew on a rock farm, so that must mean that she would have to be at least as strong as her sister. Uh, and like maybe her sister's just freakishly strong. I mean, we've seen ponies that are freakishly strong before, like that one filly. I'd rather not get clipped by a flailing horse hoof. I mean, yes, that is absolutely true. Getting clipped with especially a shod horse hoof, you are just your whole face is just gone. But she's also a baker, which a baker that hand mixes most of their things. Yes, they do have electric mixers. I'm not discounting that, but I've never seen Pinky use an electric mixer before. She just uses a wooden spoon. Those things work out your arm hard. So even if she wasn't actively punching rocks day in and day out, she's still getting all that workout into her bicep, into whatever accounts for biceps on a horse. We also that filly that could just lift up the entire schoolhouse, looking for something that was underneath the schoolhouse. Talons, they might cut deep, but a horse's hoof, like, they're a lot sharper and harder than a lot of people give them credit for. And it's also a very blunt object, so you're probably going to be concussed while also getting cut up. Also, it's a horse. You have a lot of momentum behind those hooves. But so even if Pinky's not actively working out her her rock punching skills, which she might because she goes and visits her family. Like it seems like at least once a year, at least. So it wouldn't make sense for her to be like, I'm going to just give up on the family trade. I mean, she kind of already has given up on the family trade, but she'd probably still have all that muscle and whatnot. And that also might explain why she has just such a high metabolism, is that she's just so strong that she just has to eat all that to maintain proper body weight. Yeah, clean cut to a rough tear is definitely the way to go. Hey, I'm agreeing with All Star. A clean cut versus a rough tear, absolutely, absolutely the ballpark that I'd want to be in. Also, I've been talking about this for way too long. Also, okay, before I get back to what I'm supposed to do, one last tangent. I was doing some world building with a few friends, and uh, even though the world building for Equestria was great, I feel like they didn't think too hard into it for it seeming to be to make it seem more familiar to people. Because why would ponies use chairs? Like seriously, why would they use chairs? They're they're very comfortable standing up, or if they wanted to lay down, cushions. Just cushions everywhere. Why would they ever need a place to sit? Like, like granted, it might be more proper to sit on a chair, but they probably more cushions if equestrian society designed them. Also, horses in Equestria probably wouldn't get shod. They would probably have their hoofs wrapped, uh, if even that, because they probably wouldn't even use concrete or have a second floor because stairs and because one stairs for four-legged creatures are really tough, especially our style of stairs. Granted, they could make the stairs really wide, but then you're just basically building a ramp with extra steps. So I could go into how the world would change if it was actually based on horses for ages. I just wanted to put this in here before before the ponies arrived. The chairs were everywhere. Very true. Like, but their beds wouldn't be like the beds that we know of. They'd probably be just really large cushions, because we make our beds like square and kind of off the ground because that's more comfortable for us to get up off of. But there's still some countries that do sleep on the floor. But the issue of a round mat, or a square rectangular mat for us makes sense because we're on our feet all day. So when we just go horizontal, we want to be like that. But a horse would probably have like a more circular bed. Everything would probably be more circular in equestrian culture, just so that way ponies would have the option to turn around. Turn around without having to back up. Doorways would probably look roughly similar to how we've seen them in the show, but there'd probably be hardly any second floors, if at all. There'd be a lot more spread out because why would you need like a really compact town when your horses, you can just walk anywhere. On chairs, maybe it was just one of those things that the nobles did to literally raise themselves over people and they just slowly became part of the done thing. Yeah, that's true. That could be the case. Also, like horse bathrooms, especially showers and bathtubs, would definitely look more like pools or just a circular chamber uh, for horses. Because why would you ever design like a shower that you walk into and then you'd have to reverse out of without having to like rear up and then just quickly spin around on a slippery floor. You wouldn't want to take that chance, so you'd either have to have a circular thing or else it wouldn't make sense to just build. Uh, and this led me into another thought, uh, where ponies would probably be more akin to using bathhouses than personal bathrooms for both social reasons as well as space concerns because round things take up a lot of space. They're not efficient whatsoever. So if everyone has a giant round space to get clean in, why not just make a large building that can do everyone at the same time? So, and so that way you'd have just also a dedicated thing, a dedicated place instead of every pony in general having a dedicated place in their own homes. Because unless like homes are massive, it's not really an efficient way to do things. Maybe like for family units, but they still all have all that herding mentality. Let's see. Do, do, do. Yeah, I mean, a human in peak physical condition can literally walk other animals to death, but that doesn't mean we want to walk everywhere. Very true. But also, I don't like we might have more like endurance than other creatures, but it seems that uh, horses just in general have better. Uh, let's see. I don't want to say stamina because that's something different, but yeah, like towns might be more compact, but I don't really feel like they would be building second stories. Is my whole thing because you either need a ramp or a slightly smaller ramp with steps on it, but steps are hard to navigate, especially going downstairs. Have you ever gone downstairs on all fours when you were a kid? It's terrifying. Granted, we're not horses, but, but it's still vastly terrifying to go down face first at a steep incline angle down a fairly like normal set of stairs. If you don't believe me, go try it. You will be scared for your life. So, ramps, and then like maybe they get turned into slides on the way down, or maybe they'll just not have second floors to begin with. And when I say more spread out, I mean like towns in general, since they don't have second floors, will have to spread out rather than up. So that way, every like the entirety of Equestria is more like one big community rather than a lot of small towns dotted all over the place, is what I'm getting at that point. Anyway, back to the story. Finally, back to the story. I know. Where was I? The detail more intricate. The detail more intricate. Oh gosh, what? It became more complicated. There. There we go. There, it became more complicated. There, it became more complicated. The detail more intricate. I very, very delicately scratched a bit of lichen away from the horn, wiping at it with a sponge dipped in a mixture of soapy water and just a touch of vinegar. Almost done. A bit of marble crushed to a fine powder, just a bit of slime, and perfect. The horn was done. Finally was the part I had dreaded above all others. I took a deep breath, peering at the beard. There were bits of moss, chips of material, bird detritus, and everything else in this beard, and I could scarcely believe the detail that had gone into it. I retrieved my finest pick, as this would be the greatest test of all my talents. I would not damage the statue, and it would be something the princesses could be proud of again. Quite honestly, this was a masterwork of whatever sculptor had done it, and if I did damage it, I did not think Equestria would see its like again. I mean, Equestria better hope it doesn't see it again, so... As such, I feel that I should be given a little forgiveness for becoming quite cross when I was interrupted after several hours of work. I mean, Idol has also like done the same same cup for over 10 years now. I mean, he's really good at making that one cup. Um, was it in a fic or was it in a side story or was it in the main fic where he gifted Topaz like some pottery and they're basically just like indestructible? Just channel your best mom voice for Chrysalis. Oh no. Oh no. But yeah, I mean, indestructible pottery. Also, he's just using slime to hold the granite powder together. People aren't going to question, why does this part of the statue have green slime? Why doesn't Discord question, why do bits of his horn have little touches of green in it? Man, there's a lot of different mom voices. When you say mom voice, that that can mean a lot of different things. Cause I swear my sister has like the best mom voice out there, and uh, she could just look at someone and you know you're in trouble, and she's like, "Excuse me." Oh man, like she can do it a lot better than that, and you just fear for your life. At least I did when I was a kid. Nowadays, I just laugh at it because it's mostly done in jest now. Do you think Discord wants to remember Idle spitting / licking his horns? Dear God, I guess not. Can Discord just throw away his memories that he does not wish to remember? Because oh gosh, especially if horns are as sensitive as his horns are as sensitive as unicorn horns. Sometimes are in fix. Like this could turn M-rated real quick. Oh, oh, jeez. But also, does none of the other guards that see this just see Idol licking a statue, encoding it fully to fill in cracks? And that's just like the cracks are perfect now. Oh man, Discord totally should have had like a slight green shimmer on some parts of his statue where Idol filled in the cracks. Oh, just to imply that'd be hilarious. Hours of work. All right. The issue with Celestia's voice is it's very nose heavy. It's a very proper nose heavy kind of voice. And it's also surprisingly deep for a female alicorn. Corporal Corporal um I imagine she's yelling at him. I've always imagined that she's yelling at him. Um Is she like whenever I see all caps and an exclamation mark, my first thought is always yelling. So like she lost her cool, like, oh my gosh, Discord's getting out. What have you done, Idol? Corp Corporal. This is going to be, this has to be better than the battle cry that I did for Shining. Man, his voice cracked so much during that battle cry. We make persons out of you. Idol, Shining in his teenage years, trying to act tough in front of. Oh man. All right. Okay, let's see. Let's see if I got what it takes. The very best. Do do do. No one ever was. Corporal Hooves. Oh gosh, like her voice does not work with yelling. Corporal. Corporal. Corporal Hooves. It's probably like the best it's gonna get. Corporal. I see. Well then, Corporal. Well then, Captain, for working off shift. Corporal Hooves. My sponge squeezed. That, I don't think this would sound great. Corporal Hooves. I mean, it's not bad. It's not the worst one I've done. No, Dumbledore is when he says calmly, "Did you put the name in the goblet of fire?" I love how that's like the most made fun of line in Harry Potter. Riri, did you put that name in the goblet of fire? Corporal Hooves, Celestia asked calmly. Corporal. Yeah. Oh, think, not like Dumbledore. Think Dumbledore. Harry, did you put your hammer in the goblet of fire? Oh, that is just like one of my favorite lines. just because of how ridiculous it is. Also, is it just me or does anyone else skip over Goblet of Fire, or at least several dozen chapters in the Goblet of Fire? Especially when Harry gets like hormonal. just anytime Cho shows up, I'm like, and skip. Or as soon as I get to the Cho part, I'm like, all right, it's this book. All right, on to Order of the Phoenix. She's been trying to get his attention for 10 minutes now. Oh my gosh. Corporal Idle Hooves. Ultimate mom voice. Oh man. Of course Idle will be so lost in his work that he's been... Oh. Corporal Hooves. Yeah, that it just doesn't work. I don't know if that's me or because whenever because whenever your mom or you are trying to get your attention, they just use like your name. Or when you're trying to get your mom's attention, it's like mom, 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 mom. And that's how you usually get your attention. Although my brother just says our mom's actual name to get her attention. Welcome, desk. Welcome, welcome. Glad you could make it. I'm trying to do a Celestia mom voice. A Celestia Dumbledore mom voice. Corporal Hooves. I really think that's the best I'm gonna get. Which do you like better? Or should I do this? Corporal Hooves. Corporal Hooves. So you, either of those or... Okay, I'm going to do an A, B, C. A, that first one. A is this. Corporal Hooves. B is this. Corporal Hooves. Or just do the line again. Like Corporal Hooves? Oh, yeah. You need that up tilt for more angry. Corporal Hooves? How's that? Do the line again, yes. Corporal Hooves? Corporal Hooves. So how do you like this? Corporal Hooves? I clipped the mic, so I'm going to do that again. But is this better? Corporal Hooves? Also, it's really weird hearing my own voice on stream. Not what I meant, but better. Yeah, okay. All right. Delete all. Delete your art and. Or you talk more like a Corporal Hooves. Like a 1-2 punch. Hooves. It's a really weird word because it's a 1-syllable word, but it feels like it should be a 2-syllable word. It's 6 letters long. I've heard of people that do games where they think of like the longest where they challenge each other to find the longest monosyllabic word that they can find. And I think there's I think the max I've seen people get to is like 7. Yeah, like thoughts. THOUGHTS. Oh no, that's 8. So I've seen people get up to 8 for a monosyllabic word. I could just imagine like an outtake of this. My announcement. Well, I wanted to wait until this bit. I wanted to wait until after the Discord thing, but you know what? I said at the beginning of the stream after the Discord cleaning. It's technically after the Discord cleaning, and pretty much everyone that's going to be here is going to be here. So, I guess I'll just announce it. Corporal Hooves. Okay, yeah, just make an extra beat on all 3 of those. Okay. Less Corporal Hooves and more Corporal Hooves. Corporal Hooves. I could just imagine an outtake of Celeste, like if these chapters had bloopers. It's like Corporal, idle hooves, Corporal, and no one thinks to just go and poke him. Just be like, idle. Pay attention. Idle, Corporal. It's just that for like 10 minutes until it gets to that. Corporal. One of the outtakes is just her throwing her horseshoes at him. Absolutely. He's climbing on Discord statue. Everyone's afraid. Yep, absolutely. I could also, because since a lot of fanfic authors write Celestia as like a motherly authority, I could also just see her like pinching his ear to like drag him off the statue. Now you listen here. you listen here, you little shit. Because corporal is just 2 syllables, not 3. So it'd be, if it was, I can only imagine Celestia climbing up the statue to grab him. I'm mad. Even better, her climbing up the statue to carry him down by the scruff of his neck, like just like a little kid, and he's just hanging there, like, what's going on? Corporal, yeah. That's only 2 syllables, Desk. Corporal. It's not corporal. It's corporal. Corporal. It's like when people say lieutenant, I'm like, what are you talking? What are you doing? It's lieutenant. It's obviously lieutenant. Who says lieutenant? Your jaw only drops 3 times in the saying of your jaw only drops twice in the saying of corporal. And that's how you decide what a syllable is. It's not corporal. Why am I arguing with an English major? Because because you're an English major. If I know anything about English majors, they don't know how to spell. I doubt you very much, yes. Corporal middle name Hooves. Get your butt down here. Yes, absolutely. Corporal Idle Hooves. Corporal Idle Winifred Hooves. Okay. Corporal. Just it doesn't roll right on the tongue. You could probably even listen to a pronunciation thing, and it just says corporal. It has 2 syllables. I'm now going to prove it secretly. See? 2. Ha!
Corporal.
Corporal. Exactly. Corporal. I can't imagine that being like corporal. Corporal Hooves? Knox can't count. I can count. Very successful. Very successfully. It's actually like half my job. I'm the exception that proves the rule. What's your name? Just imagine you're literally grinding your teeth on the words. Oh, that could work too. That could work too. Corporal Hooves? Yeah, corporal. I see that you have edited that screenshot to make it seem like you're right. Corporal Hooves? Corporal Hooves. Corporal. Yeah, there we go. That okay. Yeah, whatever I said, whenever you listen to, that's how I said. Corporal Hooves? Corporal Hooves? Corporal Hooves. I mean, it doesn't. It just says Corporal Hooves. Corporal. Fine, I'll do corporal. Corporal Hooves. Corporal. Poral. It's like Real Salt Lake. It's real. It's spelled real. I know it's fancy for something like that, but it's pronounced Real. It's like Tooele. It's spelled Thule. Why do we call it Tooele? I know it's a family name, but Corporal. Hey Z, welcome to the stream. Welcome to us arguing how many syllables corporal has. Corporal. Yeah. That's more like corporeal. I want to get through at least this one last paragraph, and then I'll tell everyone my news. corporal. Yeah. Corporal. Corporal. Would you prefer me to say corporal? Because that's the only way that all 3 syllables are getting in there. The literal only way. Can either have corporal or corporal, which is a different thing altogether. Yeah, so you do want corporal. Corporal. Yes. Corporal. No, sorry. You don't. You want the in self-inserted third syllable in this. Corporal hooves. How's that? Does that sound better? It should. My sponge squeezed, letting potentially damaging amounts of vinegar dribble down the beard. I gave a grunt, catching them as fast as possible, and very, very gingerly, scraping the tip of my pick through the fine marble hairs one last time, breathing a sigh of relief. Okay, there we go. Now that we have corporal hooves, I'm going to get to the thing that happened to me. If you want the not at all the non-existent third syllable, you're going to have to deal with or corporal. Corporal hoovesies. Yes, exactly. That's exactly what they get what they wanted. They asks and they shall receive. Corporal hooves? Wait, did you send me a Desk, did you send me a video of you saying what it is you're saying? Also, we have the same mic. Cool. And a similar looking mic stand too. Cool.
Corporal hooves.
I can't call you because I'm in another call. Oh, it happened again.
Corporal hooves.
Corporal. Yeah, do you want that corporal? Corporal. Yeah, I'm going to keep this little bit because it's a good read, but I'm going to just do... I'm just going to do a desk here real quick. I'm not repeating myself, and I got my first read absolutely correct. I don't know what everyone else is talking about. Corporal hooves. I just cut it off. Corporal hooves. And I didn't clip the mic. Yay! I'm just not angry enough to do this half the time. Yeah, I'm keeping that one. Don't you worry. Don't you worry now. Boop. Delete. And then just squish all these together. Boom. And zoom. I know how you can get angry, read Shattered Skies. All right. Now that I've gotten past that bit, I can tell you the thing that happened to me, which I'm saying is an announcement. It's just something that I did this last week that like a personal decision that I did last week that I'm super happy with, and I just want to share with all you guys. would be here if we waited until I was happy with all your line reads. Yeah, probably. um, so, uh, so for context, uh, for what I'm about to announce, uh, I've been in quarantine for the last week due to exposure to COVID. Now, before anyone worries, uh, it's been over 7 days. I feel fine. I'm getting tested tomorrow to see if I actually contracted the virus, and the person I got it from has also recovered well from the virus as well. And as far as I'm aware, there hasn't been any other spreading of the virus. Uh, so I've just been since I came in contact with them, I, I'm in quarantine for. I was in quarantine for this last week and next week. Something that happened during this last week is since I had so much time on my hands, I was able to really think about my working situation. I'm not engaged. I'm not pregnant. Uh, but it gave me a lot of time to think about my about my working situation. Because if you didn't know, for those of you who don't know, I've been working at Domino's for the last 4 years, round about 4 years. It's going to be 4 years on the 14th, of October. I'm not going to watch Zombieland Saga either, but I've been a driver for Domino's, and I've been a manager for Domino's, uh, and it was always supposed to be a temporary position. But I liked the people enough, and I liked the job enough, uh, that I've stayed, even during the pandemic, uh, the height of the pandemic last year, which was hell on earth. Got man, that was like probably one of the worst working years of my life. I was glad to have a job, so I worked it, and I got rewarded for working really hard by getting not only a raise, but everyone who also worked through the pandemic got a bonus for Christmas. So that's fine. Like I was used to working long days. Uh, last couple of months, even though everyone around here believes that the pandemic is over, which it definitely isn't, but people still think it anyways. Uh, we've gone back to wearing masks in store, as well as we just can't hire anyone. No one wants to work. Uh, no one wants to work for us, and I know why. We're definitely not paying enough. Like I only make 14 an hour. I made 12 during the most if not all of the pandemic. Uh, 12 an hour, 14 an hour, definitely not enough money to be compensated for what I was dealing with, which was multiple 12-hour shifts in a row. Uh, and these last couple of months was especially hard hitting because we've been so short staffed that we're working even longer solo shifts, which can easily go to 12, 13 hours at night, uh, 13-hour days just to start again the next day. Week before last, I did nothing but 12-hour shifts, and I literally ate, slept, and worked. And that's not healthy whatsoever. And I even had 2 days I requested off months in advance, once for my niece's and nephew's birthday, and then one for my sister was coming into town from New Orleans. She's fine as well. Her house wasn't hit that bad by the hurricane, so everything's going there. She just lost power, so her fridge is basically empty. Stayed stayed with my cousins down in Texas before flying out here early. Um, so she's fine, but both of those days I wanted off, and I was supposed to have them off because they were my weekend / I requested them off in advance just in case I needed to work. I was required to work anyway, and I still had to work both of those days. Granted, I was allowed to come in like a good 3 hours later than scheduled, and my fam, but uh, but it's really breaking for your morale to just come in on a day that you were supposed to have off to have fun with your family. So, after all this deep introspection, I have decided to quit Domino's. So, uh, will this, and I'm super happy about it, super relieved, and uh, a long time coming. Uh, and I'm doing the thing that is usually not the smartest thing to do, and is jumping, uh, leaving a job without having one already lined up. Although, granted, uh, although I have put in applications through to various companies, including like the IRS, which is also struggling for people right now. And until I get a job with one of them, because I want to move into an office career anyway, I'm going to be like doing DoorDash or Uber Eats or what have you to make up for the lost income. And I feel like this. Yep. Thanks. It's been a long time coming, and my work has been a big reason for why things have been very inconsistent, because long hours, especially this last year where I had to be moved onto Saturdays in order to cover for the lack of drivers and then a lack of managers too. Uh, has been made me too tired to stream on Sunday, and so it just never happens. So hopefully, everything should work out. I should even be getting a raise from this, depending on how much I work. So yeah, thanks. I usually hate talking about myself on stream, but I'm glad that you're also supportive of this, because uh, I won't lie. It's terrifying to just be without a job. So uh, it'll be terrifying to be without a proper scheduled job. Air quotes around all that. But I mean, I've seen a lot of people make careers out of doing food delivery. And in all honesty, food delivery was the reason why I joined Domino's in the first place. It was an easy job that got me off of my arthritic feet and paid decent amount of money. And another huge thing is that I can actually take time off without having to uh, inconvenience like 30 other people, now that I'm not in such a management position. I have written a strong resume. I have written a strong resume. My sister helped out with that, and the one from New Orleans, she helped me out with that. And all honesty, I might, even if I don't get the job at the IRS that I applied for, I might just do delivery full time, and then just go to school, go back to college, uh, and get my certificate in IT, which I've been wanting to do for ages anyway. Let's see. I was gonna go. He was the primary worker there. Totally happy with it. Yeah, and like I said, I was happy working with Domino's. I liked the people. I liked the work. It was just, it slowly became not worth it the less staffed we were. But they were also not willing to pay people more. Like I was making more than other assistant managers at other stores because of some things that happened that made it so they bumped me up from 12 to 14 an hour. But people are jumping off ship left, right, and center. No one's getting hired on. And there's a huge reason for that. And you know what? I reached my end of the limit. My GM, who also just kind of happens to be my roommate by happenstance, also is quitting as well because he's reached the same conclusions that I've done. He's had to work OCs, like opens to close, before, and he's also had to do COs, which are even harder. So yeah, like if it wasn't for the massive workload, I would probably still be working there. Probably would have moved up. But all in all, I'm definitely going to be much happier with this move. And with this move as well, it means I actually have more time to doing the things that I love to do, like reading for you guys and uploading more chapters and seeing how you guys like my stuff. So I'm going to I'm not quite going back to a stream a week. I might get to that point eventually, but with all this extra free time I have, like it might be something that I do more often. So yeah. The yeah. Happy for the guy that ran the gas station. They should probably just sell it to him at this point. So yeah, that's my big announcement is there's probably going to be more consistent streams, and it's going to be a lot better. Maybe even more drunken streams. Who knows? And just a lot. Things are just getting a lot better for. Things are just turning around a lot more for me now. I mean, I still have a week left to work. I have 1 week of quarantine left, and then 1 week of work after that. But after October 2nd, I will no longer work for the company that has been the longest the longest career I've ever held, which is fear-inducing as well as cathartic at the same time. So, thanks all of you for your immense support, and let's get back to the enough about me. Let's get back to Idle Hooves. The misadventures of Idle Hooves, shall we? So, it also means I can probably move towards a different streaming schedule than right when I wake up. I can actually just be awake during the day because I don't have to stay up during the night. So, woo! Maybe better streaming schedule. Maybe I can even do it on Saturdays. Who knows? My apologies, Your Highness. My apologies, Your Hiney. My apologies, Your Highness. How may I assist? And then I noticed a squad of my fellow guards in full armor leveling various weapons at me. And then please get down. Please get down, she ordered, terse, but not angry. Terse. I have to look up what terse means. I know what it... I think I know what it means, but I want to be absolutely sure that I know what it means. Sure. Abrupt. All right. I knew what it meant. I just didn't know because there's a lot of words that are contradictory to what they mean. Like peruse. In modern linguistics, it can either mean uh, uh, just scanning, perusing the shelves, or it can mean a deep, in-depth search, and it's hilarious. Why could you do that for corporal? I did do it for corporal, eventually. And then I noticed a squad of my fellow guards in full armor leveling various. Oh, wait. Boom. There we go. She ordered, terse, but not angry. She ordered, terse. She ordered, terse, but not angry. I began to consider that I had lost track of time. But no, Shining should still be on duty. Of course, Your Highness. I eased myself down, taking a good look at the statue. No, it was still misshapen, lopsided, and ugly, but it was still an amazing piece, and the detail was all the clearer for its new cleaning. Her tension was clear, and I was aware I had overstepped, bowing low. And I was aware I had overstepped. Her tension was clear. Her tension was clear, and I was aware I had overstepped, bowing low. Her tension was clear, and I was aware I had overstepped, bowing low. Forgive me, Your Highness. I was told my duties for the day were relegated to assisting your sister, and having nothing better to do, decided to work on one of the statues. With the gala coming, I felt it was important to do some minor work that might be overlooked. The statue was a most impressive piece, after all. Princess Celestia marched around the statue, inspecting it closely for even the slightest flaw. I bit my lip. Inappropriate, true, but I had never had my work so carefully scrutinized. It seems unharmed. Better than it was, truth be told. I need more water. It seems unharmed. Better than it was, truth be told. Her stern visage softened. Her stern visage. Her stern visage. Or is it something weird like visage? I know it's visage. I know it's visage. I'm just making sure that it's visage. Okay. Yeah. Are you going to tell me how to pronounce it? No? Alright then. Okay. Back to Google. Google, help. I need somebody help.
Visage.
Visage. Oh, that's so much easier to pronounce. Her stern visage softened, and she rubbed her chin thoughtfully. Corporal, in the future, I would prefer to be advised of any future desire to repair the castle's statuary. But, honestly, but, honestly, it's like he's here again. I think he'd have appreciated my heart attack. Your Highness? Welcome back, All-Star. Hey now. Wait, did you... okay. I was like, did you just miss, like, the entire announcement? Nope, you were there. I didn't see if you were up there or not. Welcome back, All-Star. Glad you can make it back. Let's see. Your Highness? Nothing, nothing. She took a deep breath. You may disperse, gentle colts. I believe all is well. Corporal, I believe shining armor is due to be replaced shortly. Of course, Your Highness. I trotted off, giving a backwards glance at the statue. I then blinked, then peered at it more closely. A trick of the mind, I decided. A trick of the mind, I decided. I should indeed have slept. Why would the statue's taloned claw have clenched with one thumb pointed upwards toward the sky anyway? Why would the statue's taloned... Wait, you don't like my highness? Of course, Your Highness. Of course, Your Highness. Are you saying highness or highness? Why would the statue's talon claw have clenched with one thumb pointed towards the sky anyway? Also, is Discord congratulating him on Celestia's heart attack? Because doesn't sound questioning enough. Your Highness? Discord's probably congratulating Idol on Celestia's heart attack, but I always read it up until now that he was thanking him for the cleaning, which was even funnier. Which was even funnier than when they were both very awkward about it during the Discordian era. Idol basically almost caused enough chaos for him to get free. Oh, man. Also, I'm wondering, is the extra bits that Idol put in the statue to, like, fill in cracks, is that just a part of Discord now? Or when he woke up, he just had, like, bits of stone dust, like, glued to his form? Like, dang changeling slime. whatever that pony did to me, I want to get it off. Get it off now. I found Shining leaving his post early, but could not begin to bring myself to be cross with him. Shining, you seem to be carrying a fireball. His eye twitched, and he forced the words through clenched teeth in a ghastly smile. Oh gosh, what's Shining's voice? Hey there, broski. Decided to come visit. Oh gosh, I forgot Shining's voice. It's like the worst. Why did I make Shining's voice so hard to replicate? I knew how much he was in the story. I imagine it left him with some neat designs in his horns. Ooh, cool. Probably something Discord thought was flattering. Nice. Also, back to an earlier topic back to an earlier topic of being child-friendly. When it comes to statuary, they totally just, showed off the the Storm King's like corpse, like in the middle of the party. They stacked him up on blocks and just paraded him about the party, shattered in a million pieces. Like this is what Equestria does to its enemies. Technically, I'd say it was the other ponies' reactions that made the chaos. Very true. Although, did Discord's chaotic nature influence Idle to cause chaos enough for him to escape? Like, I assume that it made enough for the Cutie Mark Crusaders to free Discord. Also, how awesome is, like, Cheerly being like, all right, we're going to go see the Capitol. It's like a train right away. Get your permission slips. I wish, like, my school did something like cool like that. We never visited the Capitol, and it's only like 20 minutes away. Hang 10, dude. Until your heart cringes straight out of your chest. Yeah. Philomena decided to come visit and hacking up flaming pellets in Luna's tower. Philomena decided to come visit and hacked up flaming pellets in Luna's tower. I winced. Perhaps someone should talk with Princess Celestia about letting her go. She seems to have taken a harsh turn. Princess Celestia really wants Fluttershy to see her. He gave me a pointed look, and I recalled that my report had suggested as much. I can only assume she wants her to see Philomena as she is now. Not, I decided, something any pony actually wanted to see. I didn't say it, but Shining clearly agreed. It will likely be the only chance she gets to do so, I allowed, regretfully. Cryptically, he only muttered, I wish. Given the extra hours we had been working, I decided not to correct him for wishing multiple deaths on Celestia's pet bird. And how is Princess Cadence? Idle, can I be frank? Of course, sir. I am absurdly angry with the world right now, and you're kind of included in that. Excuse me? This, he motioned to the tower, is actually pretty great. Katie's happy for me, I'm happy, and that's all great. Also, I'm in the position right now where I can go... Oh. Also, I'm in a position right now where I can't go visit my mare friend for a little affection. I blinked, then considered the implications. Princess Luna is compromised, and you might share that with your fiancé. Bingo, he sighed heavily, settling down. The shield's secure for a couple hours. It can be charged a bit more now. I've been tweaking it. This is torture. Nah, that was not a good reading. Luna's compromised. Bingo, he sighed heavily, settling down. Ah! I need to invest in a bigger water bottle for the stream. Because obviously 2 liters is not enough for 2 hours of streaming. The shield's secure for another cup. The shield's secure for a couple hours. It can be charged a bit more now. I've been tweaking it. This is torture. You look awful, I admitted. Perhaps you can make one of your shields for your personal use. He waved the idea off. Nice idea, not really good enough. It's like hugging through a fence. It's awkward, not bad, but it just reminds me of how much I want to... He trailed off. You should marry her. Another sigh. Yeah, can you even imagine if she had to go through somewhere right now, and we couldn't? This sucks. I mean, I bought the ring. His eyes went wide and he glared at me. No, shut up. No. His voice just gets more and more raspy every time he shows up. No, shut up. You already have the ring? I can't. Just. Just do it. I was aghast, but oddly bemused. Finally. Finally. Idle's shipping fuel is just is kickstarted by he's just tapping his hooves together in manic glee of yes, yes, excellent. He's been taking way too many lessons from Cadence on shipping. I can't do it now. I can't even touch her. I'm telling her, don't you dare. Try and stop me. I'll put you in a bubble and stick you in front of a train. You'll be the world's most eligible hamster ball pony. Finally. Okay, I get what you're going for. Oddly bemused. Finally. 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 There we go. How does that... Is that more weighty? I'll leave my editing brain to decide. Finally. Is this not exhausted enough? Finally. Pretend I've finally given up begging you to reach shattered skies. I mean, I feel like this is pretty... I feel like this is like the right note of fed up with it. Finally. Or are you more like a bit of a relieved touch to it? Like, finally. Gosh. Why have you done this to yourself, dude? Just freaking finally. Just do it. I gasped, faking affront. You bastard. No pony should have that much power. Which I will never do until you reach shattered skies. His eyes narrowed comically. I am, and I do. The effect was ruined by a huge yawn, and some of the flaming pellets nearly slipping his grip. And some of the flaming pellets nearly slipped his grip. Ah, we'll talk tomorrow. Dead to the world right now. He gave me a closer look. You need coffee too, he announced, then wandered down the hall. I fought my own yawn, and had to admit he was right. Luna had not been very talkative that shift, but had been pleased that Shining had to... Luna had not been very talkative that shift, but had been pleased that Shining had offered her a book of ogres and oubliettes, and she was currently lost in her studies of the rules and manuals. As I understood, that was how most players begun, and, as I understood it, she had asked not to be disturbed. Oh no, what was Moth Chaser's... But Idle, it's cold outside. The only reason I know how to do Mothy's voice is because I did Idle It's Cold Outside. I mean, you're not wrong, All-Star. You're not wrong at all. I just always feel is so question to you, V, is Moth Chaser just permanently in like a flirty kind of tone to everyone she talks to? And it's when she's asked to knock it off, it's just that's just my regular voice. But Idle, it's cold outside. I've got to wait. This evening has been so very nice. I'll take your coat, yeah, just like ice. My mind will start to worry. I still need to figure out what song I'm doing for the carol this year. I keep forgetting to do it. No. Wow, Idle, were you run over by a cart or did you just decide to work a triple shift? Wow, Idle, were you run over by a cart or did you just decide to work a triple shift? I looked up, but I was too tired to be afraid of the Thestral's grin. Good evening, Moth Chaser. No, and yes, I suppose I sorta did. You can't do that. How are you even alive? She gave me an appraising look. Coffee. My treat. I know a place. She waved at the other Thestrals, several of whom looked at me with some concern. Pony Joe's, I agreed automatically. Meh, Pony Joe's is a rookie tier. Meh. Meh, Pony Joe's is rookie tier. Come on, it's on my way home. Traitor, I gasped, amazed at the brazen lie. And I thought you lived under the castle. Joe has good coffee, sure, but Joe has good coffee, sure, but you want great coffee. You come with me. And I don't live in the Night Guard barracks. I just roost there from time to time. You don't live in your barracks room, right? I supposed I didn't. And follow a potentially dangerous predator to a second location for the premise of free coffee? What could go wrong? Hey, Hooves, did you really polish that statue of Discord in the garden today and totally ignore Princess Celestia and a bunch of guards? Yes, I think I might have. She gave a screechy laugh, delighted. You're a wild stallion, Idle. I love doing Moth Chaser and Honey. They're so funny. They're so great. The Grindhouse. The Grindhouse. Moth Chaser had the grace to blush. Look, so it's not the best name. And it's closed. I looked into a window and noted the place was rather dark. Oh, well, yeah, she acknowledged, fiddling with the door with her wings. Quarter turn and open. Did you just break in? Don't be silly, Hoovesy. Did you Quarter turn and open. Quarter turn and open. Did you just break in? Don't be silly, Hoovesy. It's just a little finicky. Come on. When I didn't immediately follow, she sighed. It's my place, and my brother's pristine grind. So, the grindhouse. I followed her into the dark shop, watching her. Oh. I followed her into the dark shop. Watching her make her way around to the very strange machinery. What is all this? We got espresso, cappuccino, and mochaccino makers, and over there we got a bobler. She counted the devices off as she turned them on, and soon the building began to smell of freshly ground coffee. The last just shook. I wasn't sure what to make of it. A what? Bobler. It makes boba tea. Amazingly, that is not exceptionally helpful. What is a boba? Tapioca balls suspended in fruit tea. We got dragon fruit, mango, couple other things. We tried durian, but the neighbors filed a grievance. She leaned over the counter, batting her eyelashes. So, what's your pleasure? I eyed the complicated list on the wall. How special? Coming right up. She adjusted several valves with her wings, peering at. Coming right up. She adjusted several valves with her wings, peered at them carefully, nodded, then vaulted back over the counter. Quickly, I realized that a Pegasus would never be as agile in this kitchen, and even a unicorn might not have the delicate touch. Come on, I usually do a little to set the place up in the morning. Promise you'll get your coffee. Might even throw in a boba to sweeten the deal. She winked at me, heading towards a table. I tried to follow, but whether it was simple exhaustion or something sticky on the floor, I missed my step and tumbled into her, knocking both of us to the ground. Moth Chaser stared up at me, eyes wide, mouth half opened. I tried to get up, but our legs were tangled. A sudden inrush of emotion from her. Trepidation, uncertainty, eagerness. Be gentle? There was a... Be gentle? There was a noise from above, followed by a choking sound and hysterical screechy laughter. Welcome! Welcome. Ahmed. Welcome, Kalon? I'm so bad at remembering names. Was it K? I'm so sorry if it's not Kalon. Pulley? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, okay, I wasn't sure if it was Kalon. So, welcome. Welcome to like the last 2 paragraphs of the stream. I'm so sorry. Let's see. Might do another stream later this week. Kalion? Kalion? All right. Kalion. Something along those lines. All right. Sweet. Priz, you absolute jerk. Oh gosh, I love Moth Chaser so much. I need more. We need more Moth Chaser. Kal-El? All right, Kal-El. Priz. Gosh, that was loud. Ah, my ears. My own ears. Priz, you absolute jerk. I suppose it should be better than breathy for Moth Chaser. Priz, you absolute... Yes. I'm doing this way too loud. Priz, you absolute jerk! Ma Chaser shrieked, flinging me aside and charging up a stairway into the corner of the shop, leaving me to... Moth Chaser shrieked, flinging me aside and charging up a stairway in the corner of the shop, leaving me to the faint hiss. Moth Chaser... That's loud? Also Morris. Well, the thing is, All-Star, is that I'm recording into my... is that I'm listening to my voice off of... in headphones, off of my mic, so I can hear exactly what's going on. And so if I talk a little bit loudly, it's just automatic feedback, and it's... oh, man. My poor ear. Not my other one, surprisingly enough. I don't think I can hear much out of my other ear. Are you saying more on Priz? Priz, you absolute jerk. Priz? Would you prefer Priz? It's actually at a fairly low volume. If I actually go any lower, then I won't be able to hear myself speak. It sounds really muffled. And then it makes it even more muffled for everyone else. I need better headphones, in all honesty, because these noise canceling ones I bought at Walmart like 4 years ago aren't good anymore. Like they eat through batteries like nobody's business. So, Priz, you absolute jerk. Priz, you absolute jerk. Go ahead, redo that again, because I did a bad I did a bad one. Priz. Priz, you... oh gosh, I keep going on my mic. My poor mic. Priz, you absolute jerk. We're on the Discord statue cleaning chapter. I announced that I left my job, and well, that's the story of the stream so far. The story, we're going into this is the chapter where this is cold brew, so it's the chapter where Idol cleans Discord statue, as well as meets up again with Moth Chaser. Priz. Pristine. Priz. I always pronounce it Priz, because pristine, Priz. It just automatically goes towards a S rather than a Z. Priz. Yeah, around season 3, or just before... No. End of season 1. We're around the end of season 1. This chapter is like around about the end of season 1, because it's about it takes place just before the Grand Galloping Gala, but before Discord's. It takes place before the gala. So it's just around season 1. The story, it's as a whole, yeah, we're just at we're in between, we're in the aftermath of season 3, in the beginning, aftermath of season 2. say is in a Scottish accent. Say ish in a Scottish accent? Ish? I don't know, but I can definitely say a purple burglar alarm. A purple burglar alarm. Prissy. You keep turning the S into a Z. I bet there. So we're at season 3, I think. Like Prissy. Say is in a Scottish accent. Dear God, no. My ears bleed. It. It. Priz, you absolute jerk. Priz, you can't do this, you absolute jerk. Get the hell out of here. I couldn't even do a good Scottish anymore. Gotta do a good Scottish. Say is in a Scottish accent. I blame you for this hell. What? You don't like a Scottish accent? Or am I just completely butchering it as just somewhat Scottish? Where do you think I am right now? I gotta love a Scottish accent. I can't do an Irish accent, or am I doing an Irish accent? Oh yeah, Irish accent. It's a lot more. Scottish accent's a lot more throaty. I can't really do a throaty accent. I tried to do a Cockney accent at one point, but Cockney it's a really hard accent to do, so it just kind of slips into another accent altogether. You butchered 5 unrelated accents, none of them Scottish. People like to see an accent, and I'd love to give them an accent. I might be even Australian, I have no idea. I have no control over this whatsoever. You hear? Back to Southern. It always ends on Southern. Except when I need it to end on Southern, then it's never Southern. Aren't you Irish? You sound Irish. I am my family's from Ireland. Let's see. If I can remember my family tree, I think I think we come from the Simpson line, and yeah, definitely the Simpson line. That's my side of the family that comes from Irish. But but honestly, I'm not Irish. If you are a hitman, you'd be completely unpredictable, but entirely unpaid. I mean, I probably couldn't kill anyone worth a damn, so that's probably going against me. I'd probably be killed, instead of I'd probably be the target, not the assassin. In all honesty. Just because people can't appreciate a good humor, can't appreciate a good humor from now and again. But man, it would be really nice to actually have an accent. People say I have an accent. I don't really see it, probably because I'm living in the place that has the accent. But I also know that the Midwest is also very famous for not having an accent. Of course, you go to California accent, which I won't even pretend to try and do. Go Texas accent, but then you got Utah, Nevada, Colorado, like around that area, Wyoming as well. You kind of got a mix of a Western accent and like a Southern accent as well, and also just whatever accent you just happen to be near for long enough. You somehow have the strongest mild accent I've ever heard. Oh, it's probably. Yeah, I wish I knew what my accent sounded like, because I have no idea. I bet because I've seen. Y'all know the new ML is coming to Netflix in 5 days. I know. I'm so excited. Woo! I'm gonna be. There's a Brony group that there's a Brony group around here. We've been doing Discord streams, and next week we're going to be doing a movie meetup, because we're all just so excited for G5 to be released. I don't know if I'm going to. I'm probably going to watch it beforehand, and then watch it with them, just so I can, because I cannot watch a movie without having subtitles on. I don't know what it is, but I cannot understand what they're saying unless the subtitles on, and no one ever puts on subtitles. I don't know why everyone hates reading. I mean, I kind of hate reading. That's why I watch dubbed versus subbed. But even when I'm watching in a dubbed version, I'm still reading subtitles because I can't hear it. If I had to fill a role titled Generic American Male, you'd get it, no questions asked. That's something that I heard is famous in like the Midwest area, is that we have such a mild accent that we can like have almost no accent at all, which makes us perfect for like movies or TV shows or something where you need to have like or mainly like news broadcasting, just so people can understand you easier. I don't know. People on people on the telly might might prefer more accent, but who knows? I have no idea. If I remember right, I think Gabriel Brown was from the Midwest, but I'm not entirely sure. I know he's now living in Canada, but I don't know where he lived beforehand. But yes, definitely generic American male. That is me. It's like the Mary Poppins measuring tape. And it's like perfectly average in every way. I saw like this thing of like superpowers that are useless thread. And someone says to be perfectly average is actually in a very OP power. And people were thinking about it and they're like, yeah, actually it is a very OP power. Because think about it, it's like whatever you try your hand at will be perfectly average. You're not going to be a master craftsman at it, but everything you attempt will be average. So if you speak a foreign language, you're going to be perfectly average at it. If you attempt to cure cancer, you'll have an average cure to cure cancer or something like that. If you rob a bank, you'll averagely rob it. Like, or you don't even need to rob a bank because you make an average salary, which is so. So it's so being average could be a very powerful power because uh, jack of all trades, master of none kind of deal. All right, how do we go? Another try at should man. Imagine if all bat ponies were actually just secretly Irish. V, I'm changing the lore of your own story. Every bat pony, no matter who it is Irish. I have to go back and change all of Moth Chaser's lines to be Irish. Priz, you absolute jerk! Priz, you absolute jerk! No, Moth Chaser can handle herself more than that. Priz! Priz! Priz, you absolute jerk! Priz, you... Priz! Priz, you absolute jerk! Something like that. Good, yes. Priz! You absolute jerk! Moth Chaser shrieked, flinging me aside and charging up a stairway in the corner of the shop, leaving me to the faintest hint of steam in my own confusion. What in Tartarus had that been? I still need that. And I believe... speaks Scots Gaelic for the hell of it. I know, it's such a good accent. So which one do you guys prefer? This is not going to be another A-B. ABC. So here's A. Priz, you absolute jerk. Here's B. Priz, you absolute jerk. Or C, I do it again. I shall wait for your responses. Because I have no idea how to do a moth chaser that actually has emotions. See? No! Hey, yay! Oh, looks like we got a tie. Anyone want to split the toy? Come on, V, desk, Z. We got to split the toy. No voting twice, but someone's got to have an idea of what to do. I mean, you can just drown out All Stars vote. I guess that does work as well. Why do you vote D? No, this one, see, Batrish. This has an S. Priz, you absolutely. That's a lot less. Priz. Welcome, Lucas, and also have a good night, Lucas. You know how close a Z and an S is? I didn't move my mouth whatsoever. Pris. It's because the R is carrying the sound, the rolling of the R is carrying over to the S, and that's what makes it sound like a Z. But a priz. If I do a pris, you lose the R sound altogether. I just basically say piss. What do you say? Z in a different? Z. So Idle is in Canterlot cleaning Discord. Yes. Do you not have a Z at the back of your teeth? How do you move your tongue back from that? Like, is it below your teeth? And then it's a Z. Or Z. Like, even if you're saying, yeah, a Z is tongue on the teeth. S is also back of the teeth. Tongue on teeth, back on teeth. I'm making a Z sound without the tongue being on the teeth at all. Do you have a Z? I can't do a Z on the teeth. Oh, V. This is A. Priz, you absolute jerk. This is B. Priz, you absolute jerk. And C as I redo it. We're talking in like the where you're how to pronounce a Z and an S. Moth chaser. Yeah. Describe moth chaser. Flirty. Describe her in one. If I had to describe her in one word, it'd be flirty. So also bat. Bat would also work. Doesn't take no for an answer. Is another thing. Move tongue back until it's on the ridge at the roof of your mouth. How short are your tongues? I can't do it on the roof of my mouth, only on my teeth. Boom boom boom, boom boom boom, gotta get that 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 boom boom boom, boom boom boom. Move closer to teeth until it stops sounding weird, but not so far as you slip into Z. I'm not moving my tongue between Z and S. My tongue is stationary between Z and S. What do you mean? My S is sounding weird. It's just an S. Yes, it depends a lot on teeth shape. It also depends on how your throat is too. All that z, like, I'm not moving my tongue for that. I'm not moving my teeth for that. Oh, my mouth is completely stationary. You did not just reference the Black Eyed Peas in 2020 effing 1. What do you... I'm already blasphemous because I'm not reading Shattered Skies or have watched The Apple. What do you expect from me, Desk? And Black Eyed Peas was a good band. I also liked Yellow Card. There's a place off Ocean Avenue where I used to play and talk with you. We were both 13 and it felt so right. Sleeping all day, staying up all night. Staying up all night. If I could find you now, things would get better. We could leave this town and run forever. There's a place I know to be to take me away. Have a good night, Lucas. Did you know if you ate 40,000 bananas, you would die from radiation? I did, yes. Or is the music just so good that you're just like, I need to sing? It's so good. It's like a heart song. Is that you could easily make an S sound, but it's your poor discipline that makes it a Z sound. It's not that I'm making a Z sound when I'm saying priz. Is that the R is, since the R and the S are so close together, I cannot make a S sound without removing the R sound. So if I go pris, 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 look how, like, that R sound is barely there at all, and could easily be mistaken for piss. But if I want a hard R, which, if you're angry at someone, you're generally going to enunciate the consonants of pris, 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 you absolute jerk. Like, it all takes place in the vocal folds, not on your tongue. Your tongue has some things to do with it, but not everything. Priz, priz, is, pris. By the time I get to S, I'm saying an S sound, but the rollover from the R is hitting the S. So it's not that I'm saying a Z, because I'm not, because my tongue isn't vibrating slightly like it does with the V. it's the R coming from my chest. It's the R or coming from the chest that hits the front of that S sound, makes it sound like a Z. I did not write this story. I am merely reading it. a much lesser thing than actually writing this glorious piece of art. That belongs to V. A Changeling of the Guard, written by V Drake 77, narrated by Equinox 3141. I try my best. Better than the robot? Yeah, somewhat. Does it take 4 times as long? Absolutely. We're only on chapter 46 right now, and there's actually, if I remember right, I actually have a progress bar for this chapter, for this story, to see how close I am to. So let's see. Cold Brew. The recording is done for Cold Brew. Did I mark vignette on here? Ah, okay. So we're currently on chapter 48. That's right. 48. And that means we are currently Changeling of the Guard has the Changeling of the Guard audiobook reading has officially reached 70% completion. Woo! It's chapter 40. It's chapter 48. Let's see. What did I record at the very beginning? I always have to remember. The next few days. Oh wait, no. Chapter 48. Chapter 48. Yep. Chapter 48. I always have to remember because my last episode was not 45. It was definitely not 45. I am absolutely positive I did not put it at chapter 45. Oh, wait. Oh, no. Okay, last episode that I released on the channel was chapter 45. But I have 3 videos that need to be edited. The thing that takes the longest is not recording it. It's not reading it at all. It's editing it. So I'm on chapter 48, but I'm editing chapter 46. Oh gosh, and I've already gone on 3 hours. All right. Well, yeah, editing is not my favorite thing, but I do sometimes enjoy it, and that's when you get a chapter. Oh, and this is the chapter that V also did. The second chapter of There's Something About Mary. Which, oh man, it's been a while since we've seen something from this Something About Mary. Oh man. Either way, next chapter is chapter 49, A Slow Roast, where we get to see our... I know Something About Mary is hard to write. It's mostly Zecora, isn't it? It has to be mostly about Zecora. Rhyming, I don't deny. Rhyming is just a pain. Who's got the time to rhyme, right? Do I have a dad joke of the week? I don't think I said this one. Mary is the guard that went missing in the Everfree, unlike Idle's first assignment. she didn't die. She was just declared missing in action just because they never found a body. But it was highly implied in that chapter that she was turned into a mare by Poison Joke, and then died. I think it's called Dank Woods, or no, Morning Woods. He won the Nobel Prize. After spending the last few minutes quietly screaming into a microphone, I both confirmed that I sound terrible and that it's totally possible to make a sound in Pris. Thanks again for all you guys' support. On that, so happy to be doing this for all y'all. Oh yeah, I haven't still done. Oh, what did Yoda say when he saw himself in 4K? HDMI. And there we go. There's our joke for the week. Anyway, it's been a fun time, you guys. Hopefully I'll see you around next time. Until then, take care. Bye. The joke about paper, it's terrible. I love the joke about paper. It might be terrible, but it's great.